when you go live. Sorry. I already started the stream, bro. Ooh, yeah, Josh Allen just threw a passing touchdown. Feed me. Howdy, peeps. How you doing?
Straight.
Ways in the middles of the live streams. Create, go live. We're in the middle of a stream. I would just like to...
Just look it up on YouTube. That's
what what am I doing? Yeah, usually it takes me, I gotta like refresh the page or something. Yeah, I'll just go to YouTube. Let's see.
Man, what an episode.
Dude, what a joke, man.
That was incredible. I'm still kind of reeling. I mean, it just finished like 10 minutes ago, so.
Yeah, like, it was so good. So is it on, you just do it from your account. Is that what you do?
No, you can do it from ours, I think.
Just look up BoomShot.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a little bit, they caught me lacking, not gonna lie. Oh, there we are. Right. Oh, yeah. Dude, that was... I asked myself the question. I think I ask myself the question every single time. Why in the world do they not have these people who write this show write every Marvel project? Like,
yeah. And I think they did Quantumania, if I remember correctly. But
yeah.
I think... Which I enjoyed that movie, but I think they were rushed or something with it. But I think it still turned out pretty good. But yeah, I mean... Loki's just incredible. Everything about it is so good. I mean, we were spitting out theories left and right during the episode, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, and a lot crazy happened, and a lot that we had been talking about actually came to pass this episode. So what we thought was going to happen maybe in the future, probably around like episode 5 or 6, actually came to pass this episode. It left us in a spot that we're not exactly sure where it's going to go from here on out.
No, I mean, that's about as big a cliffhanger as possible.
Yeah, and you know, disclaimer, and if you haven't seen the episode, go watch it before you come and watch the stream, because we will be talking about spoilers. So with that in mind, dude, let's just go ahead and, you know, okay, so just what's your thoughts on the episode?
I'd honestly probably give it a 10 out of 10.
Dude,
I think it was pretty much perfect.
Yeah, it technically, and it was just perfect.
I think it's my favorite episode, maybe of the series so far.
Yeah,
I've just
total
loved it.
Like even the first season.
Maybe even the first season included. I did love the whole first season. I'd have to think about it, but
yeah,
I'm reeling, dude. I mean, I loved it.
Yeah, hey, if you just joined the stream, let's know your guys. We want to know your thoughts on the episode, and any questions or thoughts you may have that we can talk about. But yeah, so it's technically perfect, but it's like it was gripping right from the beginning, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you know, as soon as like the cold open like recap,
the open was interesting.
Yeah, as soon as like the recap hit, I was like, oh, it's about to be fire.
And
like,
then
this
even
is about to
like
be good.
the Marvel Studios intro is different too.
Yeah, exactly.
And it took us back.
Yeah, it picked us up right where we left off with Renslayer and Miss Minutes, where Miss Minutes explains to Renslayer, the flashback was like, he wasn't alone, you know, he used to have you, and she was like, what? I got tricked, but she was mad. But it leads to what I don't know if we really theorized about this, but were we predicting that maybe Renslayer and Miss Minutes go rogue?
Yeah, and we talked about a flashback too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So then that did come true, like in the very beginning there. So, I mean, and I guess the other thing we talked about was what we called the Nolan theory.
Yeah.
And that came true this episode with Loki pruning himself. So.
Yeah, exactly.
And we didn't know that was going to happen. I think some people knew because you could like turn the gamma up and see who was behind it.
Shout out to our friends, New Rockstars. So.
Yeah, we didn't know that was going to happen. So. We were pretty excited when we saw that. And you kind of called it, like, while we were watching, you're like, yeah, I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, no, I think you said, I don't know who said it, but, so that moment with Miss Minutes was really interesting, because she was like, we don't need him. And I was like, and when you parallel it to what she says later in the episode, where she's like, you'll never be him, there's something fishy going on with Miss Minutes, dude.
It's hard to figure out her motives, for real, because, like, you don't know if she's for herself, or she really just wants to be with Kang, you know, romantically.
Yeah.
You just can't tell with Miss Minutes, and that's what makes her so creepy. Part of what.
Yeah, she's like the definition of unpredictable. So I'm trying to figure out at this juncture where she stands. But anyway, so we pick up, and that whole scene happens, and they're plotting or whatever. And we go back to the TVA. Things are collapsing, kind of like we were presuming would happen. The loom is getting overloaded. There's no way. They bring Timely back to the TVA. We were kind of skeptical of that, because we were like,
Yeah.
might be like his villain arc. You know?
And he did just kind of walk around by himself for a while.
Yeah, I was like, why would you send why would you send a King the Conqueror variant to just TVA? Like,
we said that as we were watching last episode together. Like, why did they send him in first?
Yeah.
Like, just by himself.
I feel like I keep on waiting for feel like I keep on waiting for King or Timely to like I kept on waiting. I say it, but I kept on waiting for Timely to like just turn. Like whenever he goes to get the hot cocoa, I was expecting him to steal the pruning stick from I forget the hunter's name.
He was like the guard.
Yeah, it's like D something, I think. But anyway, I kept on like waiting for him to like throw the hot chocolate in his face, steal the pruning stick, and like prune him or something. But that never happened. So like I was just like, you can't. And that's really the weird part is we've critiqued other shows for this, but right now at this juncture, we have no idea who the big bad is right now.
Yeah, and I think it's working for this because I mean it has. Us two and my wife Maddie, who's been on the channel before, watching it together, and we were all just like saying different people who could be the big bad. I mean, I think that's what's so good about it is like it causes the fandom to talk. And theorize.
Exactly. And Marvel hasn't had that in such a long time, where they've had they've been missing that like week to week or movie to movie or whatever it's been. Like the conversation and the discourse around these movies is just it's not as popular as it used to be. I don't know what the heck happened there. Anyway, so like it's good to see that this is back, and especially on a week-to-week thing. But I feel like that's just Loki does what Loki does, you know.
And I was watching this episode, I was like, "Dang, this would go hard in theaters,
dude. It would.
I mean, it was incredible,
dude. If I was watching this as a movie, I'd be on the edge of my seat the whole movie. Yeah. Like it was insane. So Timely, speaking of Timely, he kicks the bucket, dude. What
I did not see that coming.
No, I didn't either. I was like, we were all like, dude. So essentially, what happened was, Timely, they have to go out to the temporal loom, and Timely has the throughput multiplier or whatever that enables him to, or that enables the loom to take on more timelines. He had like
the key piece that we saw last episode put in there. So he was like, I need to do it. If something goes wrong, I can fix
exactly.
it.
So I can fix it. And so OB's like, which by the way, we'll talk about that in a minute, like him and OB's relationship. But OB was like, all right, that makes sense. The radiation's going to be high, but it's definitely possible. And so he puts on the suit and he just walks out and turns and he gets
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, he gets Mr. Fantastic, dude. Like he just turns into spaghetti. And I was rough, like,
man.
What?
My jaw was dropped.
Yeah, my jaw was dropped too.
I did not see that coming. He was really growing on me, dude. I mean, because at first it's like, what are we supposed to think of this guy? Is he going to become like the big bad? But it seemed like he's just a cool guy, and he didn't know, it wasn't his fault that he remains did all these bad things. So he was really growing on me, and then just to see that happen to him, I was like, dang, man.
Yeah, so I felt so bad, dude. I was like, it brings you back to like the Loki or like the Sylvie moment with him last episode where he's like, I haven't done anything bad, and here you are about to kill me.
And right before he died, he was like, be brave, and then he went out there and.
It just gets, and it wasn't like, so typically, I feel like in Marvel fashion, if that were to happen, like that people would joke about it and just be like, they'd be like some quirky joke would come up or something like that. But they really sat in the moment for a second, and everybody was like, where did he go?
They were in shock and fear, and they focused on like the different characters, and I liked that a lot.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it ends with Loki as the timeline explodes. And it looked like all of the timelines merged there for a second. Is what it looked like to me. So all of the timelines merge, and then it explodes outward. What do you think happens with the TVA, man?
I don't know. My leading theory right now is that like the timelines merged and then all exploded. Yeah. And that everybody in the TVA is going to go back to their timeline that they came from. Mm-hmm. Like the branches are just gonna like burst out everywhere and then take them back. Yeah. Basically, that's what I think is gonna happen because we see Mobius buying a jet ski or something in promo material. Yeah. So I think that we may see that next episode, but I think also from that a big bad's gonna come from it, and I think we could see like in the Flash too how they had like those. Like cutaways to past heroes and stuff. Yeah, I think we could see something like that too.
I like it. I definitely could see something like that. With the big bad, who do you mean? X5's a candidate for sure. Miss Minutes is, as far as we know, gone.
Yeah, she'll be back. You can't get her.
You literally can't.
For now, I mean, I don't think she's really the big bad right now. I think maybe it could be. So we already got the first post-credit scene from Quantumania fulfilled in this season. So maybe the other one is with the Council of Kangs there.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, that's why they all convened. It's like, what just happened? I guess we like basically got out of jail, like hella.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
Because how would that have happened before?
Yeah, and so we see that in the Quantumania post-credit scene. Maybe that will all start to make sense because we just thought that was happening the whole time. But aren't they going to be in a multiversal war
with each other? You think?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess maybe they would like want to gang up on He Who Remains because he defeated all of them.
He says y'all. Eli said y'all have a typo in your last video title. By the way, what is it? What's the typo? What?
I'll fix it.
Why did King brand the TVA? Where's the typo? Maybe I'm just bad at English. It's very well possible. I haven't taken an English class since 10th grade.
Yeah, I think maybe that's what's going to happen is like that post-credit scene that we thought was kind of like the continuation of Quantumania is really what's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the Kangs were set free.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, what happened? We just got wrecked by He Who Remains.
Yeah.
So we need to gang up, and that's why they're all together at the end of Quantumania. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that definitely has to fit in somehow. But, I mean, with 2 episodes left, and the story as we know it has completely been shifted, what are you going to say?
Maybe we see Kang the Conqueror freed.
Not supposed to be Kang unless I'm the idiot here. Wait, what do you mean?
Oh, I mean, He Who Remains.
Oh, yeah. Oh, He Who Remains. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I mean,
that's true,
in my mind, they're one and the same. So, like...
But speaking of Kang the Conqueror, that's what I was getting at. Maybe, because we don't really see what happens with him in Quantumania. Maybe he gets set free with what just happened.
Dude.
Because, I mean, he went down by some ants. That was kind of underwhelming.
It's ridiculous,
But
man.
maybe he comes back stronger than ever. And he's, like, finally set free in this explosion that we just saw.
Yeah, and he's having to put down other Kangs. I feel like I feel like this show has to lead into the King Dynasty.
Yeah.
Because the King Dynasty, isn't it technically supposed to come out next year?
I think they keep pushing it back. I'm not sure.
Let me check real quick. Avengers, the King Dynasty.
But I don't know, man. I think there's definitely something there with like the Council of Kings and stuff like that.
May 1st, 2026. God,
yeah,
man.
they kept pushing it back. Which is good, I think. I mean, maybe we could squeeze in a Loki season 3. Fingers crossed, dude.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we could because Loki season 1 came out 2021, so it's 2023, so 2025 leading into.
I hope so, man.
Yeah,
I want a season 3, and so.
I just feel like they're at a weird juncture in the show, and normally I would be worried, but it's Loki, so I know they're gonna cook. But like,
yeah, it was a weird way to end an episode, like 2 episodes before the finale.
Yeah, because now it almost feels like you have to. In a sense, restart. Like,
yeah, because Renslayer got pruned, Miss Minutes is offline.
Yeah.
Victor Timely, although I think he was good, he's not in the picture anymore.
Yeah.
OB seems good. I think there's an outside chance he could still be bad.
Yeah.
Because, like, they did kind of a weird exchange there.
Yeah, I feel like we need to talk about that, though.
That was one of my favorite parts where he was like, oh, you're my hero. And then the little laugh Victor Timely gives, that like, killed me.
Like that, like
killed me, bro.
He said I meant in the title. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Okay. So I think we got it. Yeah, well, welcome to the stream, Eli. It's nice to have you here. But, or John Davidson, I guess. Or is King the name of the character and somehow I've just missed it?
Does it say King?
Does it say King? Bro, am I tripping? Where is it at? I just had it. What? No. Oh, bro! Literally, I read that as Kang, bro. It must have. It must have auto-corrected.
Thanks for that, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you for that. I'm gonna. People are like, "Who the frick is King?" Yeah. Thanks for that. I'm the dumb one. I just can't spell.
I didn't even see it either when we just looked at it. But...
Actually, I blame Apple because they try to autocorrect.
That's true.
Yeah, Miss Minutes wouldn't have done that. She's the good AI. But
she's definitely looking out for King. She probably recorrects King to King. Honestly, in the TVA.
But speaking of King, like the whole interaction between him and OB was sick. Where he's like, where Victor Timely's like, dude, I got all of my work from you, and then he was like looking through the book. He's like, yeah, I got all of my work from some 19th century scientist named Victor Timely.
He's like, wait, what was your name?
Wait, what was your name again? Yeah. And so they figured out. He said, y'all had me worried. Thought I somehow forgot the name of a whole character. No.
But then he's like, a snake eating his own tail, and they kind of like lingered on that for a second. It was kind of odd.
Yeah.
But I guess that's because it's his name. But it could be something else. Like maybe they're one and the same.
Yeah.
Or like working together.
It's definitely a really intriguing thing between them, but it's cool to see like how that works. Like we see multiple moments like that in this episode where it's like the past influences the future, but the future influences the past. Yeah. With Loki, whenever, by the way, he does prune himself, and so like the past is influencing the future because he wouldn't have ever made it to that moment had he not been time slipped into there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But then at the same time, like him being time slipped there, his future self was already there, and he was able to prune. So like, and he was uniquely able to recognize that. So
and it could be some symbolism that OB was on the other end of the phone. Like it didn't. He wasn't calling for anything bad at this time, but it could be just some symbolism that creepy phone call was OB that whole time.
Dude, yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at right now. I'm like, well, where do they go from here?
If my theory is true about like the branches taking them back to their respective branches, what if we see OB go back to like working with Kang?
Yeah.
He's like, why am I back here?
Dude, working with the original Kang? Like in 30th century, like that Kang, maybe?
Ooh, snake eating his own tail, dude.
Yeah, like maybe he goes back to, I mean, and that's wild, but it really, like, anything can happen right now, just based off, you know, what we just watched, because there's no good way to predict what's going to go on.
Yeah, I mean, it killed off like a lot of the main villains, and then just blew everything up.
I mean, even killed off Dox too, and Dox would have been considered a villain as well. But now
she went out kind of a hero. Dude.
Yeah, she really
you gotta
did.
Respect it.
Yeah, I definitely respect it, dude. She was a trooper.
Yeah, she stood her ground, and that's something I can respect.
The only villain still left alive, and they intentionally showed him get unstuck from Loki's control or Sylvie's control.
Yeah, that's true.
Was X5. That he's like the only like the op, I guess, if you want to.
Yeah, but I don't see him. I feel like he's still more of like a lower rank villain than like if they were to bring back a Kang, which they may not do that, but like a Council of Kang. But I don't know. I don't see him being the main villain of the rest of the 2 episodes. But maybe he is.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of with you there.
But I feel like it's not much opposition. Like they could just go back and be like, "You're done."
Yeah. Somebody big has to show up, I feel like. In which, I mean, now there may not be a big villain. There may just be them trying to get out and get back into the TVA.
That's true.
Like I could see them shirking the whole villain, like big villain arc, because now they're just trying to survive.
Yeah.
And you don't really need a villain if you're just trying to survive.
And what if they do go back to their branches, and that puts Loki back with like Thor or something?
Oh, dude.
And he like goes up and hugs him, and Thor's like, Loki?
Would he?
But I think they're gonna reunite at some point, but probably not this soon.
Would you go back to where he got pruned from originally? So like
they'd be back in the Avengers.
Yeah, then he would be back in Avengers, either the desert where he got taken originally, or he would be taken back to Stark Tower. Which means, but see, then that means they would have to bring in like some of the Avengers, probably, I guess.
Yeah. Or do you just go back to like present day in your timeline? I don't know.
Yeah, but even then, that would probably be so confusing for him. He'd be like, "What the heck?" No, I guess he saw Thanos snap his neck. He did see himself die, so like he kind of knows what happened. But dude, Eli said that would be kind of crazy if this whole season ends up being a man versus nature instead of man versus man. Yeah, I kind of have that feeling right now. That the main villains have been all taken away from us pretty much, and it's going to leave us with them trying to restore order, I guess, in a sense, because now their TemPads don't work either. But Sylvie's does.
That's true, because she has
He Who Remains TemPad. So
she's going to be the key.
Yeah, Sylvie has to be the key, but all the rest of them are still down because OB had to reboot the system, which you can argue maybe that even Sylvie's TemPad wouldn't work if hers is run through the TVA's like network. Maybe I don't know.
I feel like that's a good point though. I feel like it probably still does work because he was at the end of time using it.
Yeah, he could do whatever the heck he wanted. So, dude, I do like that the whole man versus nature thing though. I feel
it would be an interesting take for sure. It'd be refreshing.
Yeah, it would be refreshing because usually you end with the main battle like between the hero versus the villain, and it's like that's cut and dry, and sometimes it's really good. But I feel like now it'd be great if we get just a different take on I guess rising action and conflict. So
yeah, I feel like it's gonna lead to the Council of Kings. So maybe just a post-credit scene at the end, like because they've been unleashed. I mean, I don't see how any way they wouldn't be. Yeah, because this is what He Who Remains was kind of saying. Like when all the timelines come through, you're gonna see a bunch of me. Mm-hmm. And that's what I kind of saw, is like a bunch of timelines, so that probably means a bunch of kings.
Yeah, and that takes me back to Miss Minutes' words. Where right before she died, she says, "You'll never be him." And
that was creepy, by the way.
Yeah, that was creepy, dude. She's like, because you think she's about to say like, "I love you" or something like that, because of what we saw last episode where she got put in that box. But it's like. That was really weird. She gets shut down and she stutters or whatever, and he's like, "Bro, you don't have to imitate me. That's just kind of terrible." But she's like, "I gotta say one last thing. You'll never be him," and then she's gone.
Yeah, see, I thought she wasn't gonna be able to say it. I thought she was gonna go and we'd never know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, next episode, but she did say.
But so then I thought from there I was like, okay, well now he's heard that, and maybe he's like gonna have like a surge of pride where he's like, "No, I can't be that guy." And so maybe that was what was happening, and then he goes out and he dies in the temporal like radiation, and maybe that had to happen. Like maybe it had to happen that way because if he had succeeded, maybe if they had done something different, then he would have been the only king remaining, and therefore there wouldn't have been a multiversal war, like King had predicted. True. So if Miss Minutes was really still serving the original He Who Remains, maybe this was part of her plan.
Yeah, I mean, I can never put anything past He Who Remains because it seems like his plan has come true, or what he said is going to come true has. So
yeah, and it would be like funny if Renslayer and Miss Minutes thought they were disobeying He Who Remains by saying like, he was useless. Like we can do it better, but they were just serving his plan. Yeah. And it kind of goes like to the bigger themes of this show. That's like what is actually like free will, because which is just a really interesting conversation. That like if you know it all, does that mean it happens as you predicted, or like you force it to happen that way? So
yeah. So something else interesting I was thinking about is like who wrote the book first, the handbook. It had to be Victor Timely, right?
Yeah.
But then. Or is there two authors, or does OB just have like the original handbook and all the rest are his like translations of it? Maybe.
I feel like but like we said last episode or last live stream, that we kind of have this theory where like 3 timekeepers existed in the TVA without them knowing it, and it was Miss Minutes, OB, and Renslayer. And since all of them have a unique relationship with King in the sense that like OB's the only one to have his name in something other than I guess Miss Minutes. Miss Minutes is kind of like the TVA logo though, so it kind of makes sense. But you think like he's the only one that gets to have his name and likeness on something, so he had to have authored it off of King's ideas first.
Yeah.
Like, I assume he comes from a King timeline, like the He Who Remains timeline.
Off of like listening to King's ideas in person, and then he just wrote it down.
Maybe.
Because
but he says he got it from Victor Timely, so he couldn't have got it. He couldn't have got it from the original King's timeline.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm wondering. Like, He Who Remains was that Victor Timely, and they were buddies. Like, because I don't know. I don't know.
I'm so confused right now. What do you guys think? Do you think who do you think wrote the TVA handbook first? Do you think it was Victor Timely or do you think it was OB?
I don't know, man. Because
it's like that. It's like the age-old question: what came first, the chicken or the egg? Dude, I'm like, I guess both came first in a sense. But I mean, who would be the chicken?
I don't know, man. Because what's weird about it is that it is Victor Timely. Because if OB is the OG, as Eric Voss has been saying, it wouldn't be Victor Timely, probably. It would be the original King. But maybe the original King is another Victor Timely, or the same.
Oh no, you haven't even seen the episode yet. Oh, that's so sad. Why are you? I mean,
no, dude, you gotta watch it.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. No, that's so sad. Okay, I mean, we appreciate you watching the stream, but like,
it's good, man.
Yeah, it's the best episode by far, I think. So yeah, definitely text us with your theories whenever you finish watching it, because we're kind of, but you really don't have to watch the episode to kind of guess who wrote it though. So like you can still throw out a guess like who wrote it first. Because I mean he does say, I mean, you've been watching long enough to work. I mean, if I spoil something, it's whatever.
Have you watched the other episodes, Eli?
I ain't even seen the episode yet. Dang, that's tough, man. I wish I'd have known that. All right, anybody else, if you're watching
and have seen the episode,
yeah, and have seen the episode, who wrote it? I think I'm of the impression. It's just hard for me to believe, like, if He Who Remains is the top dog, it's hard for me to believe that OB wrote anything without his express intent. So it feels like, I mean, now who got the idea? I still like the episode. Spoilers aren't that bad for this show, in my opinion, since it's a self-contained season. That's fair. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, okay.
That's just kind of mind-blowing, like, to think about.
Yeah, I feel like my brain's broken.
I hope they explain that.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to go back and watch that scene for sure, because it was hilarious when
he does the little squeal thing, yeah.
That was so good, dude.
Yeah, that was, yeah, I've seen the others, didn't even know the new one dropped. Yeah, it's Thursdays. It comes out every Thursday at 7 or 8 for us, so
yeah,
8 Central Time. So, yeah, definitely check that out. But yeah, you gotta let us know what you think, because I don't know, dude. But that's the whole snake eating the tail thing. It's like, where does it really begin and where does it really end? So.
Yeah, but I feel like they really lingered on that, and it was kind of eerie.
It was eerie.
OB said that.
Yeah, but I feel like OB in general is just eerie. But
I'm telling you,
dude, there was definitely like a long lost bromance that existed between them, dude. Like
that was hilarious.
They're like long lost brothers whenever they finally met. It was really weird, but they were like, what? Like my inspiration, but you're my inspiration, but. I don't even know if I can write a parallel for it in my brain. Like, I'm trying to think of another example.
By the end of it, man, I was really sad to see Victor Timely go. I mean, it was sad. It
really was. It was sad. That was terrible, dude. Like, I can't believe they just killed him off like that. He just walks out and he's gone. Like,
no, dude. And the way he was like hyping himself up before he walked out.
I got this. Oh. It's like Scott whenever he turns into Giant Man, you know. And he's like,
yeah.
I'm awesome. But yeah, he was hyping himself up, just walks out and he's gone. And I was like, but I think maybe you said he pruned himself, right? Yeah, you talking about Loki?
I feel weird spoiling this, but I mean,
yeah, I guess. So, sorry for that. Yeah, he did prune himself. So it was kind of like a weird thing where he was like future Loki got separated, or current Loki with where we're at right now got separated from Sylvie, and like Loki from the past that got teleported to the future, like was there at the same time.
I feel like I called this pretty early on that Loki did it to himself. Maybe like episode 2.
Yeah, we had some other theories. I don't remember where exactly we went with it. We thought it might be OB. One thing I do have a question about that scene though, maybe somebody else can clear this up. But when Loki gets teleported to the future, he sees Mobius, like Mobius is writing skin on there. Remember, because like from the first episode. So you said he pruned himself, right? No, not Loki. Victor. No, what happened with Victor? If you're okay with me spoiling, so I'll wait for a second and finish what I was saying. Basically, like Mobius wrote skin in the past. Yeah. Loki gets teleported to the future. But that future that Loki got teleported to was the same one with Casey and OB working in there. So why weren't they in there? Is my question. Like they should have been in there. Working. Okay. Yeah, do you see what I say? Because I said that during the episode, and you were like, "No."
I thought you were talking about when Loki got pulled back through the loom.
Yeah.
But that was in the past.
Yeah, that was in the past. Yeah.
Okay. I see what you're saying. That's a good question.
He said, or he got pruned, or did he just straight up die? So. What happened to Victor is he was walking out into the temporal loom to try and like put his throughput multiplier out there, the same way that Mobius walked out in episode 1. And, with a lot more radiation. And so what happened is he walked out, and the second he steps out, he gets spaghettified and he just turns into spaghetti.
Yeah, like they hinted at in the other episodes.
Yeah, so like his temporal temporal radiation just caused him to like evaporate. It'd be like if you walked next to the sun and just didn't exist anymore.
It was bad.
Yeah, like so what?
And there was some, and then when they get compressed in the docks in the crew, the Minutemen, that was they didn't show it, but that was still pretty creepy.
Yeah, that was a dark moment. I mean, you couldn't hear their like screams or anything, but you could see it on X5. And dude, and Miss Minutes was like,
that was the creepiest part.
Yeah,
dude.
no, Miss Minutes the whole time that Docs and all the rest of her like companions are getting like just crushed in the box, like almost happened to X5. She's just like super happy like that. I'm like, oh, this is. She's so weird, dude.
Creepy, dude.
I can't understand Miss Minutes, dude. But that's what I told you. I was like, that's what happens whenever you give power to like an all-knowing AI. He said, "Dang, my theory was he would end up at the end of time and reunite with Miss Minutes. Guess that kills it, though." Yeah.
I mean, it could be. I mean, like not him, obviously, but a different one.
Yeah, I wonder if radiation. They never clarified this. No, they said it would burn your skin alive and that you would be turned into spaghetti, right? Isn't that what he said?
Yeah.
In episode 1, that's where OB was talking about what happens with radiation. It burns your skin off and stuff like that. But
I don't think we've seen the last of Renslayer.
Yeah.
Because she's
Yeah, Renslayer did get pruned.
She got pruned. She didn't get killed.
Yeah, she got pruned by Loki. No, she got pruned by X5 being mind controlled by Sylvie.
Yeah.
So technically she's in the void somewhere.
Yeah, and so is Loki.
No, but you remember Loki had to get
clean himself.
And as he was like traveling through the thing, his little temporal aura.
So I don't think we've seen, because maybe the void no longer exists either.
It might not.
If the loom is failing, so I don't think we've seen the last of Renslayer, but maybe. I don't know.
Dude, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, man. I feel like I need an Eric Voss breakdown.
And I think I'm gonna eat that up when he drops it.
Dude, Eric Voss, our friend, dude, is absolute goat.
Yeah, I think something else that was interesting is when Miss Minutes goes offline, they like focus on He Who Remains face for a while.
Yeah, and it's like it looked like it looked like Timely was looking through, and it looked like the eyes opened as soon as Miss Minutes evaporated. So like maybe that was a representation of like his eyes opening after she said, "You'll never be him." Yeah. So, but like I said earlier, I feel like that was definitely part of the plan. Maybe Miss Minutes was trying to spur him to some kind of action because she knew that had to happen. It would be really easy for us to say that like she just went rogue on He Who Remains, but I don't think she would do that.
Yeah.
I feel like this is probably all playing to her plan. Like maybe the TVA needed a reset with a new king. I mean, that might have to happen. That would be the only way for what King did to happen, was if there was no TVA and no constant watching over different timelines and pruning and stuff like that. So
I feel like if the TVA goes away, then Miss Minutes is gone.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I definitely don't think we've seen the last of Miss Minutes. I mean,
no, she's just being rebooted right now, but
I just don't know if the TVA is going to be there after that explosion. I don't know.
I think
they're going to get like teleported to their original timelines. But
do you think it like
is my phone slipping? Or did you?
Yeah, I scrolled down.
Okay, I was like, wait.
Do you think they turn back time in a way? Like, do you think it'll turn back time in a way and restart us at some like critical juncture or something like that? Maybe they get teleported to the future with one of the future kings. That could happen.
Yeah.
So
see, I think this is really the moment we're seeing the multiverse.
Yeah.
Because before, like any branches, I guess, were being pruned, and then at this point they were like, they couldn't contain that many branches before, and they were all kind of like, in my mind, what it looked like funneling back into like 616 or whatever. They're calling it, but the MCU timeline.
Yeah. So
but now I feel like it's truly the multiverse. Like I think there's just timelines everywhere at this point.
Yeah, and it's no longer like the whole branch timeline thing either. Like now there's just it's kind of like what they said in the Flash, where it's like spaghetti just crossing one another, and like it's just this crazy bowl of noodles, pretty much. Which makes you wonder, like, it doesn't make you wonder how they get it back on track. Like we pretty much know, like it's already been written that King is going to be the one who gets it back on track. It's just a matter of when. And I think we'll see that in the King Dynasty, which is a ripe 3 years away now. So,
so I really think that post-credit scene actually may play a big role in Quantumania.
Yeah.
Like, maybe all the Kings are getting together, like, something's got to happen here because either we got to fight or,
so do you think
up.
But they would they work together, though? That just doesn't seem like King.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I think they may have a common enemy in He Who Remains who they don't know is dead, maybe.
Oh, yeah. I could see that. And, I mean, and there's always the possibility that Loki and Sylvie could become He Who Remains, too.
Yeah, and that's what he wanted.
Yeah, and that is what he wanted. But see, and it makes you wonder, like, what would have happened if they would have been the He Who Remains? Like, if they would have never... I guess, like, they killed him, but if they would have assumed control rather than just let the branches go haywire.
I don't know.
Oh, man. This episode had so much that happened. So, if you haven't watched it, Eli, go watch it. I mean, when you get the time, obviously. So go watch it when you get the time. For those of you who were watching with us and been on the stream, thanks for guys. But do we have any last thoughts? You think maybe?
I don't know. I think we've covered pretty much every big thing that happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think maybe we'll see a glimpse in the void. Mm-hmm. Like they'll show maybe classic Loki, Throg.
Yeah.
I don't know. And
Renslayer.
And Renslayer. I think Renslayer is the main reason because I don't think that's the last of her.
No.
But maybe if my theory is true that like the branches or like the explosion sends everybody back to the original branches, we'll see Renslayer as a teacher. I think she was.
Yeah, she was, and I wonder if we'll see like. And as far as Miss Minutes goes, right now, like we said earlier, I feel like she has to come back at some.
Yeah,
like she has to come back.
Miss Minutes is never truly dead at this point until I don't even know. I guess the same way they killed Ultron.
Yeah, and there's no way to know what exactly is going to happen in this next episode, but we've tried to do our best to lay out all the potential theories on the table.
Dude, what if we see Prime Ultron? What was it?
Dude. Now that would make me happy, bro. I would love me some Prime Ultron, but it would. It could make some sense, like if Ultron were to come back and maybe gives King. That could be the common enemy that they have to fight against. You know, all the Kings.
Yeah, ooh, because he was pretty OP.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be hard for them to beat him though. He had all the Infinity Stones. So I mean, it took.
Did he even destroyed Thanos?
Yeah, did he even like technically die? I can't remember what happened. I can't remember if he died or if he got contained in one of those boxes.
Yeah, didn't I thought
Strange
Prime Strange or whatever?
Yeah, Strange Supreme
Strange Supreme.
Yeah,
trap him in the thing. Yeah,
so,
I think that's what happened.
Yeah, that could happen though. I mean,
I don't know. I was just throwing a wild theory out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he was like too powerful, and this is like a moment that we could like see, or the Watcher.
Yeah, we could see the Watcher. We could see. There's not really another multiversal character that we know of like King. There's only like one type of character like King that at least I know of. So,
or we could see maybe a glimpse of what happened with Wanda.
Yeah,
I don't know because we don't know. I mean, she's got to be alive, but I don't know. I mean, there's so much that can happen. I mean, this is the biggest cliffhanger pretty much possible.
Yeah, for sure. And so after next week's episode, we'll be live streaming. So come hang out with us. We'll be talking about it. It seems like there's going to be a lot of big stuff that's going on. So
it's got to be.
Yeah. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and sign off. And thank you guys for joining us. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, make sure to leave a comment, like whatever. Just goodbyes. Anyway, I would say goodbye, but we got to turn off the stream from my phone. So I'll just give my soliloquy as Shakespeare.